Welcome back. The King of Broken Things is a production that weaves together the contrasting threads of heartache and hope to create a moving story about a young boy's journey of healing and renewal. Through a series of various experiments, projects and creations, the boy teaches us that anything can be fixed, even the most broken of things, including hearts and souls. This poignant production will be presented from the 1st to the 18th of May at the Baxter's Golden Arrow Studio. And to tell us more about the show, we joined virtually by the director and writer of The King of Broken Things, Taylor-Broderick. Michael, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Good morning to you too.
Very good morning. What inspired you, first and foremost, to create The King of Broken Things, and what themes or messages, perhaps, do you hope your audience will take away from it?
Well, firstly, it was inspired. It was written about 4 or 5 years ago, and at the time, I had my two young boys were about 4 years and 6 years old, and one of them said to me, "Dad, I've got no imagine." And it struck me that as adults, I don't even think we would register that that's missing in our lives.
Right.
And it struck me as like, wow, you know, we get so caught up in the complexities of living that we forget to use our imaginations and our dreams. And so it just suddenly, I just thought, wow, we're missing so much. And that inspired me to put pen to paper, and the script just flowed. It was almost like I was a conduit from some energy coming somewhere, and it just came out like almost in about a week. It was done, with very few edits that were needed post writing. But the themes are many. The primary theme is about hope, and how that we should, what is the world, or what is life without it? And there's others, we address things like bullying, the futility of war, waste, our environment. There are many themes that most people will identify with, that are really prevalent in the play.
And in writing and directing this production, how then did you balance the emotional weight of the subject matter with the potential for hope and healing?
See, that's a brilliant question. I'm not sure I can do it justice. It just, I really feel like the small company that I have, we call Theatre Smiths, and our aim is to try and change the world little bit by little bit, and theatre is a great tool to do that. We can change people's narratives by exposing them to some of the realities of the world, and maybe how to cope with some of those things that we come across that we don't have coping mechanisms for. The little boy in the play has many coping mechanisms to get him through his life that is filled with loss and heartache.
Yeah. Incredible. And can you also talk about the importance of, a sense of wonder in the production, and how you sought to capture that in the story and the staging?
Well, I'm a very visual person. By profession, I'm a theatrical lighting designer.
Yeah.
So I'm always struck by, and also I know with kids, visually they are stimulated. And so also when I write, I can see, I write what I want to see. So all the props and all the things that are used in the show, there's a lot of magic in the show. Not magic as we know it, as a magician, but theatrical magic. So when I was building those props, I was very cognizant of what would be interesting for people, and how things are made up of everyday things. And life is like that, the beauty is in the everyday things. And that's what these props are, they're made from milk bottles and tin cans and all sorts of things. So it was quite easy to get to an end result. It just came. It just came to me. I was very lucky. I was in the right place at the right time.
And having said that, in crafting the character of the young boy, did you perhaps draw on personal experiences or even observations from your own life, or were you inspired by other sources?
Absolutely, by my kids. I mean, some of the lines in the play are directly from my kids, so I have to give them credit. I've got no imagine is a line in the play, and it was said by my son, and just a lot of lines, and I was continually jotting down things that they would ask me. We know that, kids are so innocent and they are so direct in what they say. And there's a lot of that in the play. And that helped me actually get to the end result really quickly because they just say it like it is.
And what was the biggest challenge in bringing this production to life, and how did you overcome it?
It's a very technical show. So there's about 20 to 30 seconds in the play where there's some technicalities that happen that are quite daunting at the time, because we do some I don't want to give too much away, but we do some very interesting things with technology. Not that it's overt and you don't know it, but we use it in a very challenging way. So whenever we tour the show, we need a lot of stuff to take with in order to make this little bit of theatrical magic happen. So that is a really big challenge.
True. True. And how does the character of the young boy serve as a symbol, or I would say metaphor, for the potential of healing and growth in all of us?
He's a beacon of hope, this little boy. We have found that the play, in a way, it's a very cathartic experience, because it allows people to recognize their own brokenness and identify it and go away feeling like there's hope here. We can fix ourselves, even if it's the smallest thing that's broken, we can fix it. So this boy is so, he has the potential to change everyone and he's so, you can identify with him, because we all know a child like that. He's on the spectrum in some way. And he is so lovable and so likable. And I have to congratulate my actress, Cara Roberts, on her, her portrayal of this character.
Yes.
She is phenomenal.
And what has been your most rewarding experience in working on this production, Michael, either in the writing process or in the response from the audience?
Definitely the response. To have people afterwards sobbing with, not in a cathartic way, saying, and then they come and they would say to me, I lost my dad a few years ago, and this just feels like a healing process. We get so much of that. Some people can't even speak afterwards. But it's a healing. It's not at all a negative. You're not going to go and feel like weighed down by the weight of the world. Not at all. It's a freeing of our brokenness. Once we acknowledge it, we can fix it. So it's exactly that. It's a healing process that people go through when they witness this show.
All right. So where can we watch this show?
So it's at the Baxter studio in Cape Town, which is in Rondebosch, and it runs from the 1st to the 18th of May, Monday to Saturday, 8 o'clock on every evening, and there's a matinee on the Saturday at 3 o'clock, and then again the show at 8 in the evening. You can book at web tickets, and it's 150 Rand, and then there are concessions for students and pensioners that's 130 Rand.
All right, Michael, beautiful show this is, I would imagine. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure. Have a good morning.
You too. Thank you. That was the director and writer of The King of Broken Things, Michael Taylor-Broderick, talking to us about a moving story about a young boy's journey of healing and renewal.